Hi everybody, I'm going to quickly show you how to try to do some math in Google Sheets. This will be for our velocity acceleration project. So if you recognize this chart, this is from the video that I showed you how to do a line graph from, to review line graph. I highlight everything I want in the graph. I come up to this icon right here where it says insert chart, click that. And Google will give me a variety of options. I don't want a scatter chart, so I'm going to pick a line graph, which I'll come down here and do. Boom, there's my line graph. Now from there, you can change the axis titles, such as the chart title. You need a y-axis title here. Our legend is good. We have time in seconds here at the bottom, so that's all good. So how do we figure out our next step? Well, with this data set, distance over time, we know that can give us velocity. So what I want to do is I want to set up a data chart first. So I click these three boxes. I merge them by this icon right there, and I type in what I want, velocity in meters per second. I want to make sure I have my units. I want to center this so I know it's going to be over 3 columns, and there we go. So that indicates that the next 3 columns are going to be under velocity meters per second. So I also have time over here, which is still going to be in seconds. I want to do a velocity versus time graph. And this is going to be for car A, E, and C. I want to put my time in 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. Now, instead of doing the math for each individual number, I can show you how to do it in Google Sheets. So first off, at 1 second, whoops, I forgot 0. So let me insert row above. And now I can put 0 seconds in. 0 divided by 0 is going to be 0. So I can always just put that in there. And Google Sheets will give you an error if you divide by 0 or multiply by 0. So it's better to just put 0 in yourself. So how do I do the math for velocity at 1 second for car A? Pretty simple. I have the box highlighted. I come up to the function bar or the text enter bar. I hit equals. Giving equals means that there's going to be some math. I start my parentheses. I click on this number here because that's going to be my distance. And it shows it as B6 because that's B column, 6th row, B6. And I want to divide it because I want distance over time. So I hit my division symbol. And I click on A6 because I want to divide it by the time. And there's our function, B6 divided by A6. I close that out in parentheses. I hit enter. And there's my number. And Google Sheets sometimes does something wonderful for you. It automatically assumes that you want to use that same formula for each of the distances over the time period. And that's what I want to do. So I'm going to use Control Enter. And poof, there's my velocity, car A, over those seconds. I can do the same thing for car B. So car B, I come up here. I hit equals to tell it I want to do math, parentheses. Where's my distance for car B at 1 second? 2.77. I divide. I click on 1 second, distance over time. Don't forget that. There's A6 again. Close it out with parentheses, hit enter, and look at that. Autofill suggests I'm going to want to use that same formula for all the numbers below it. I do, so I hit Control Enter, like it says, and poof, it has been done for me. And I do the same thing for car C. Equal sign, parentheses, on 4.02, because that's what it is at 1 second. Division, click on 1 second. There we go. Close out parentheses, hit enter, Control Enter, because I want to fill it in, and there's my data for acceleration for this car. I'm going to move that distance and time graph out of the way. And guess what? Now I have a velocity over time. I can make a graph of that. Highlight it. Go to Insert Chart. And there's my line graph for velocity over time. So there's 2 ways to do a graph. Now you have to do an acceleration over time graph for your project also. And here's my 2 graphs. If I label them properly, I can copy and paste it into a document. I can copy and paste it into a Google Sheets. I can also copy these data tables and put them into a Google document or Google Slides. Thank you.